Okay, so welcome to our Sky Vision Lounge. This is where we have our daily analysis. Well, on Mondays to Wednesdays, we do daily analysis of the live market for London session and the New York session. So this is the New York session. So we welcome everybody. And so one of the things we do, well, we do quite a number of things, or we say quite a number of things. One is that if we are following a trend, which is one of the processes we use, which we call the break of structures process, we agree, it's been agreed that if price is moving up, it will make a series of higher highs and higher lows, and higher highs and higher lows, and higher highs and higher lows, and continues like that, right? So in our break of structure process, we're looking for price to actually break structure, right? And then we're looking for opportunity to enter the market on that pullback so that we can partake in the next move up. Okay, so that's one of the strategies we use. Another strategy we use is the one we call the rejection candle setup. I'm sure we'll see some more about that. Anyway, that's the general process that we use. Okay, so before we take any trade, we also go further to say that we need to know what we are doing. We need to know the general direction of the market. And to help us get a context for what we are doing, we ask three questions. One, what did price do overnight? So it's either trending upwards or trending downwards or just moving sideways, right? It's either trending or ranging, okay? Then we also note, where is price right now? That's the next question, okay? And then the third question, which is equally important, is what must I see price do before I execute a trade? You should be able to answer that for yourself. What are you looking for in the market, right? So that you're not just trading randomly. You're not just placing trades anyhow. Rather, you have a process that you're following. And I'm sure you will have heard us say it over and over again that we must always follow our process, because that's the only thing that helps us work in a structured manner in this market that is very, very uncertain. Is a market of probabilities, or is a business of probabilities, right? There's no guarantees anywhere. Okay, so we ask the question, what did price do overnight, right? So this is gold, right? Okay, so I thought, okay, let's even just do a quick thing from what we did yesterday. So you can see, generally speaking, from yesterday, price is just moving between these highs. Where is those highs now? These highs here, yeah, and these lows here. Generally speaking, from yesterday, it's just been going between the top and the bottom and the top and the bottom. You can see it just going sideways, generally speaking, right? And so I'm sure many of our inner circle members, you probably have seen these rejection candles at the tops here, right? And you will have most likely taken a trade, yeah? Or if you saw this nice engulfing candle right here, this one is a combination of candles there, which gives you the engulfing candle, right? So the rejection candle setups were really, really working very well yesterday and even today too. So look at that. There was a doji right there, and then followed by a bearish engulfing candle, and price has moved down, right? If you're looking for just to just scalp, just do a quick trade, right? You have a nice bearish engulfing candle there, and what happened next? Price moved up, right? I'm showing you these just to show you that the process works, right? But we need to have a mindset of probability when we come to the market. Sometimes you may get stopped out, right? But you must not use that particular one or two trades that stop you out to now say that, oh, this process doesn't work anymore. right? So we need to have that process, and we know that it's over a series of trades. When you take it over and over and over again, it's almost like the person um, looking for water. So, okay, so in this part of the world now, in Nigeria here, we have what we call boreholes. We'll drill the grounds. We drill the earth and just the engineers put something in there, until they get to where you have water, right? So if you're looking for water, or if you're looking for gold, or you're looking for oil, right, you have to drill and drill and drill and drill and drill until you hit that gusher, right, where that oil is, or where the water is, or where the gold is. Okay, and then once you get that, you will see that it becomes a lot easier. You begin to compound on what you're doing. Okay, so let's go through our questions here. What did price do overnight? So essentially, we can see that price has just been going sideways, right? It started from somewhere here, came down a bit, went up again, came down again, went all the way up, came down, went up. We can't see proper break of structures here, right? It's just moving, just continuing in this sideways movement between the top here and the bottoms here, right? So right now it's somewhere here. What does price want to do next? We cannot say for sure because it's still within this range, right? What we will then suggest to do, if you're trading break of structures, if you're not putting the rejection candles and all that, if you're doing just break of structures, wait for a break of these highs, yeah, break of the highs, a pullback, and then you can continue in that direction, right? Alternatively, wait for price to break below. Where are we? We want to wait for price to break below here, potentially pull back, and then you look for continuation downwards, right? But overall, market is just moving sideways on this particular pair. Okay, let's look at the next pair. This is pound JPY. Now, so what is pound JPY doing? If you ask the question, what did price do overnight? Okay, when we come here, we start out again. It went down, it came up, went down again. It's gone up now, and then, oh, sorry, I've closed that one. And then it's come down. So on this push up here, it actually broke structure there. Where's my single line there? Okay, it broke structure here. You can see it, right? It broke structure to the top side. What does that mean? If you have a break of structure, remember we drew that the when price is going up. So it makes a series of higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows. Yeah. So what has it done here? It's done a higher high. So after it has done a higher high, what do you expect price to do? You expect price to pull back. And what can you see here? Can you see that price is pulling back? So as long as it does not come and break the lows where that price pushed up from. So it started the push up from down here. It pushed it up. So it pushes down. So you can reasonably expect that if price is going to give you a higher high, on this pullback, that will be your best entry, well, best position to enter the market, right? So for those of us in the inner circle, we sent a setup earlier to say that we're looking for this pullback to potentially enter the market and then look for price to then go up. Yeah. So where do we expect price to go now? We expect it to go at least to these highs here, to come back to these highs here, and potentially break structure again, pull back, and then continue upwards. So you see price is following this same structure. That is how we position ourselves. And we know that over a series of trades, when we keep doing it over and over and over again, that is where we get the advantage. Yeah. For all we know, price could have come here Where is that pencil? Right. From here, you can just come here, do something like this, and then just stop us out. Yes, it can do that. Were we wrong to take a buy here? No, it's our setup. It's part of our setup because we are following this process here. We are looking at higher highs, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Right. So we must always just follow process at all times. Follow your process. Okay. So when a buy here, looking for potentially price to continue going up. Okay. Let's look at the next one. Euro JPY. Oh, okay. I have the buy here. Let me just squeeze this one in so it doesn't obstruct what we're doing. Okay. So what did price do overnight? It came up, pushed down, went up again, gave us a nice break of structure right there. Let me mark that one out for us. So we had the break of structure there. Then after the break of structure, what do you expect? You expect a pullback. And it pulled back. This one was even a very deep pullback. And it wicked these lows here. Right. And I'm sure you'll have heard me say, particularly for those of us in the inner circle, my mentor who I learned this process from, he takes the wicks as a break of structure. But I then thought, okay, because I found out that sometimes if I put my stop loss right here, right at the lows here, sometimes price will come, wick me out, and then go in the direction I thought it would go anyway, right? So I then decided that, okay, before I call it a break of structure down here, I want to see a body close below that level there. Yeah. So in this instance here, we just saw price. It was still within this range. It only wicked it, but then it decided to go up again. Right. So for me, this is not a break of structure just yet. Yeah. But I'll acknowledge that, yes, price did go down below those lows there. Yeah. Okay. So it's broken structure to the top side right here. And then here as well, it's also broken structure to the top side. Okay, we can see that from this one here. Okay, and then it pulled back just before we started this our session here now. So it done a break of structure, and just like we like to ask, after you see a break of structure, what do you expect next? You expect a pullback. So you should be telling yourself this when you are trading. Okay, am I seeing a break of structure? If yes, what do I expect next? I expect price to pull back. So this answers that third question, that what must I see price do before I execute a trade? I want to see a pullback, and then on that pullback, I can enter. That will be my entry level, and then I'll look for price to continue going up. Okay, potentially, right? There's no guarantee that this will work on any particular trade. But if we keep to the process over and over and over again, then we can say that indeed we can see price. We can then see cumulatively that we begin to get those wins, and then we can compound it and get good profits at the end of the day. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at another one. Oh, this one is pound Aussie. Okay, so remember on gold earlier, we were showing that rejection candles were just working beautifully. Look at this one here, right? Yesterday, price gave us a nice bullish engulfing candle. Is it a valid setup? Definitely is a valid setup. I mean, you can see price was rushing down, and then it decided to give you an engulfing candle right here. What happened next? Price came back down and potentially stopped you out. Yeah, if it did not stop you out here and then you're expecting price to go up, well, it did go up a bit, but eventually overnight it came out and stopped you out, right? If you compare that to, oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. Let's say this one here yesterday. So look at pound yen. It gave you this let me come here. It gave you this kangaroo tail, then it gave you a bullish engulfing candle there. So you take your trade, right, on that rejection candle, and what happened next? Price just worked out so beautifully, right? So we cannot say that because we were stopped out once or twice on the process we're using, then that process is no longer working. No, you have to keep trying it over and over and over and over again until you begin to see those wins, right? Once you know that, you take a sample of, say, 5 trades or 10 trades, let's say 10 trades, right? A sample of 10 trades. You use the same process over and over and over again, over those 10 trades. Then, you write them down and say, how many of these 10 worked out well? How many of them did not work out well? Of course, if you have a process that all the 10 trades did not work out well, then you may have to tweak some things, right? But if you see that over those 10 trades, let's say 5 or 6 of them, worked out very well, then there's something there. You have an edge there, right? Or even if it's maybe 3 of them, let's say 3 of them worked out well, but those 3 that worked out well, went so much into profit, that covered for the losses that you may have had in the remaining 7 of the 10, right? So you have an edge. Yeah. So it depends on how you want to work this out. Anyway, so let me come back to our trade analysis here. So this one is just moving sideways. I can't see any proper structure here. You see, price came all the way to the top here. I'm sure this was during news Asia session, and then so it just going sideways here. There's no proper structure. Okay, so I can't say that I have a break of structure, a proper break of structure anywhere. Yeah, so I'll wait for it to either break the lows and then I'll go down with it, or I'll let it come and break the top here, and then we can go up with it. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at Euro USD. Oh, very nice. Okay, so Euro USD, what is it doing? Initially came down, went up, came back down, right? We had a small shift there. Anyway, but it came back up and broke above these highs here. Okay. Now, once you have a break of structure, what do you expect next? You expect price to pull back. And is this not a pullback? You can see it pull back. As long as it did not come and break the level where it started from, then you are still in for a potential push up again. Yeah. So price has now pushed up, and so it's pulled back in here and is pushed up very nicely. Actually, I missed this trade. I had an entry somewhere down here. But anyway, the 2 main pairs I look at is pound yen and euro yen. So this one was just an additional thing. So it doesn't matter too much. But I'm sure some of my inner circle members, I'm sure they were able to get something here on this. Yeah. Okay, let's look at pound USD. Okay, so this one too has some nice things happening here. So I'll just start from here. It moved up here, moved all the way down, gave you a nice rejection candle down there, right? If you are here during London session, and went all the way up. And then once it gave you this break of structure, so you can see these break of structures here. What do you expect next? You expect a pullback. So you can see over and over and over again. Once you get a break of structure, what do you expect next? You expect a pullback. And then on that pullback, you then expect price to push up again, potentially breaking this structure here and going higher. And it has done that here. So this will have been the best place to take your entries for a buy, right? Now that it's here, what do you expect next? Price has broken structures here now. So what do you expect next? You expect some sort of pullback, and then for price to continue going up. Yeah. So it might just continue up, 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 up until it gets to some level. Then you will see the pullback. So do not rush, just wait for it, and it will give you the setup you're looking for. Yeah. Let's look at Euro USD JPY. This one is just I don't even like the price action here. But anyway, it's giving us what did it give us here? So it initially went up, came back down, went up, right? Then give us a market structure shift right there, pull back a bit, and then it's coming back down. is essentially looking very bearish. Yeah, even though it's still looking as if it's in a big range. Yeah, between these lows here and these highs here. Yeah. So let's see what the market does. Okay. Beautiful. Do we have any questions? Let me check the chat if we have any questions in the chat room. No, there's no question there. Okay, good. Lovely. So I trust we are all good to go and looking forward to taking those trade setups that we get. And wishing you a very good time as you trade. Tomorrow, I have a meeting tomorrow during the our New York session, so we won't be having the meeting. We won't have this live session tomorrow. But I may just put something out for our inner circle members. I will be in a meeting from about 11 Nigerian time. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll see you for the inner circle members. We'll see you on Thursday. Otherwise, we'll see every other person next week, Monday. Thank you very much.